Hello my friends, welcome back. It's episode 16. You know, I must admit, the previous episode where I looked at the personnel files, I didn't notice much earlier on. I also looked at the personnel files and saw that the stats were going up, but I really didn't notice how much the evasion and vitality had gone up for some characters. And you know, it led me to think that I'm setting myself up for a huge problem, because this game plays more like an RPG than anything else.
Affirmative.
And that huge problem is, like, look at my tank, for example. So, here's my tank. So he was brought along for his chunkiness. He has 159 hit points and 8 evasion. Those are the only two stats that matter for a tank. And obviously his ability to hurl grenades, which is usually done at short range, so that's why you want these high stats. Now, if you look at the other tank,
As you order.
this is the tank that has 9 strength, right?
As you order.
So this is the one that is actually slightly worse health-wise, at least base health.
As you order.
You can see that he has 168 hit points and 16 evasion, so twice the evasion and a good 9 hit points more. That's in spite of having 9 strength, so I'm not quite sure how much a strength point is worth in terms of hit points, but it's somewhere between 10 and 15 hit points. And
as you order.
You know, you can see here that his shooting and throwing is also superior. The only thing that's, you know, truly better for my character is the spotting skill, and the action points are slightly better, that's it. So, and he's level 4, for crying out loud. I mean, I'm level 7, he's level 4. So his stats are all around better at level 4. And so, you know,
as you order.
It makes you think that you really need to, or maybe this game was even designed around you, doing very RPG-esque things, like that tiny map with 3 enemies on it. One of the enemies is like an officer with a handgun. So maybe you leave him alive or cripple him, and then you just run your characters around in front of him while he shoots at them, to try and raise your evasion and vitality, basically. But to me, that is just anti-fun. Okay, here we are in Britain. Let's do a random encounter in Britain before we hit the story one. Let's see what the random encounters are like in the UK. Hey, it's the M3. There it is, let's go. So basically, I'm going to run into an issue where, eventually, my characters are so under stats compared to the baseline. Wow, is this literally just a field? Okay. That I'm not only going to get outspotted, which at least my spotting and hiding is keeping up with the baseline more or less, but nothing else is.
I have good training.
But I'm not only going to get outspotted, I'm going to get nailed to the wall, because the enemies are going to have stats to compensate for the fact that they expect you to have way more hit points and evasion. And I just simply won't have those hit points or that evasion.
Vikonam.
It does feel like this is definitely a game that if you like RPGs, you're going to love this game. And what you might even consider doing is taking your main character, building them totally for strength, because that seems to me to be the hardest stat to raise. And then dexterity after that, and having intelligence be the lowest thing. Which intelligence affects stat growth, but it won't matter because you'll be training up skills that are int skills all the time, so your intelligence will rise very quickly, as it has done with my main character. And just spend ages in random encounters just training up your main guy. Just literally go to one of these random encounters where there's only 3 enemies, kill them, or otherwise farm stats off them. Then go back to base and heal and repeat the process. I don't know why I'm waddling my main character forward like this, because he's not a scout.
Ich verstehe.
Confirmare.
Uh-oh. Okay, combat started. I hear him, but I can't see him. If I look... I still can't see him, but I could shoot his ass. Oh, I did hit him. I saw that little blood splatter. So he's definitely there. 2%. Wow, if I kneel, if I lie down, now I can see him. That's interesting. Okay. You'd have to be asleep to not notice that, but anyway. MG's first for those sweet, sweet experience points. You notice it just went up by 1%. Ah, you just got a point of familiarity. Right, I gotta make sure that my angle is good. And by good, I mean that my angle is such that I am not gonna HMG my own guys in the face.
Aye, commit.
Do you know what? You just stay there, actually. Okay, these guys are so accurate that it's not really gonna matter that I'm firing from behind.
No.
Nice shot.
Who touched my weapon?
Who touched my gun? They'll come closer, or they'll just stand there like idiots. Oh, they might run away. They don't usually run away. Yeah, they don't know where I am.
If I see eye of enemy, then they too must see my eye.
Now I think I'm spotted. Potentially. Yep. %. Oh, you're in so much trouble, my friend.
I did not sign up for this.
Oof. 6% chance to hit him, but 3% chance to hit him. I just must have a better line of sight. Alright, not bad. The snipers should be able to pick them off now. But yeah, I mean, playing the game normally, like a tactical game, and not trying to farm stats at all, you're probably going to end up with characters with massive spotting and massive shooting skills, and basically nothing else.
I did not sign up for this.
I probably actually could have afforded to do some snapshots there. 10% with the SMG.
You will not be the last.
Sucks to be you. That's an Enfield. So it looked like one anyway. Oh, it might not be. Might be a carbine, yeah.
It is deep. a wound. I will do best.
That was not... How could you... whatever.
Hit target.
Got him. At least Eagle knows how to score a shot. Hey, at least my vitality is going up, right? With every friendly fire incident. I hope. Then I'll find out that that's the one way you can injure yourself and not actually gain anything. Interrupt. The only way that Reggae can interrupt with his action points is with this grenade. Which actually will stun the bollocks off of him. I'm a little bit concerned about throwing the grenade at him in case it bounces off. Oof. Yup, that hurt. He aims to shoot, and he can't shoot because...
They are only kids, but they will become men.
I thought he couldn't shoot because he was out of AP, but apparently he still had some AP. Oh, there's another dude. Player's turn. I genuinely cannot miss from this distance. Well, I say that. 90%. That's close enough to can't miss.
It was only a question of time.
We could punch him to death instead of reloading my gun. Who touched my gun? 100% chance to hit. What about the headshot? 70%. Okay, that's not willing to trade 30% chance to hit for that.
I started young and I get better with the time.
What weapon has this guy got? An SMG. Okay. He's not going to be very accurate from that distance. There are a lot of enemies on this map. Just going to rearrange so that I'm not... Oh, crap.
It is bad news for them.
Oh, I forgot about him. Okay. I so going to rearrange so I have a slightly better shot without actually shooting my own dudes. Got him.
No bullets.
That's fine. He's got a rifle, so we won't be too worried about him. I think he's the only person I have a clean HMG shot on though, so...
Better to die than suffer.
Alright. Let's go. Let's give this guy a grenade. No, he's too far away. Unless I used a light grenade. I've only got one shot left in here, so I'm going to have to reload. Still, only 18 action points to reload. That's actually not too bad. Oh,
You
nice
will not
shooting.
be the last.
That was some good shooting from him. Yeah, sorry, gun. Tactical brain turned on then, so I couldn't talk about, you know, I couldn't do side discussions. Oh. There's definitely someone nearby. Because I saw it. Let's get everyone hidden.
When you work hard, you get better.
Okay. Reggie is not allowed to go into hide mode, which means he is detected.
I would expect nothing less.
Let's waddle behind another tree. And the hide mode button has appeared, so now I am undetected. This is a really gamey way to find out whether you've been spotted or not. Can you hide? No? Ah, well. Turns out you're detected.
I am ready for active duty.
Let's get these wounds patched up.
Finished. You will survive.
Okay, so now we know 100% of the guys up here. But yeah, it's a little bit disappointing that in a way, the only way to train up certain stats is to play badly. You want to train up your evasion and vitality points? You need to play badly. You need to be detected. You need the enemy to have their turn. You need the enemy to be firing at you. None of these things are good. None of these things are good things. You should not allow these things to happen. You can increase strength and therefore vitality by playing reasonably, but the reasonably bit is you basically meleeing enemies. I am behind this guy, or so it appears. If I were to just quietly stand up and put my hands up. Stand up! Yep.
This is not a good place.
Oh, he
and
interrupted me.
Experience injury. Grave consequence.
I should have just shot the sound. See what I mean? This is what happens when you actually try to, you know, do something clever, quote unquote.
I did not sign up for this.
And there's still enemies alive on this map. You better get that wounds 10-2 on Kenko.
When you work hard, you get better.
So yeah, that was purely a question of stats as well. He just outstatted me. His interrupt was better than my spot or hide or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure it's hide because Mike's hide is not that great. And he nailed my ass for it. To the wall, baby.
You were lucky this time. It was only a question of time.
I have done my best as well to train up my main character in medicine as much as possible. And I'm only just now hitting medicine 35. We had a look at the medic in the bench.
Finished. You will survive.
She had like 54 in medicine.
I am ready for active duty.
Okay. Who's left? Reggie. Probably pull out the medical kit for Kenko as well. Heals up to 90 VPs and then all the penalties from critical conditions.
You were
Heals all the
lucky
critical
this
conditions
time.
first and then heals up to 50 VPs.
Pokrok.
I still haven't looked up. It's probably been in the comments like a million times by now. I still haven't looked up what Pokrok means. I'll have to Google translate it. That'll be my objective for the next time I play.
Finished. You will survive.
And you know, by no means, I am having a... You know, this is a fun game. The mechanics and engine are great. It's just really kind of, you know... The cheese. Did we look at that mass before? It's the cheese of stat grinding that's my main issue with the game, I guess.
This is no longer a good place to be in.
He outstatted me and he just spotted me, but he was a terrible shot, so I'm good. Probably could have pulled out my handgun for that. Oof!
And I get the bigger wound sewing.
I did not sign up for this.
Give him the reggae sauce.
They will kill every one of us.
Okay, apparently there are still enemies alive. She's actually got a critical injury, so let's go and deal with that. I suppose at least getting shot plenty is going to do something about these vitality points slowly, right?
Finished. You will survive.
Look at that intelligence go up. Medicine apparently is the ultimate way to gain intelligence.
Order confirmed.
You know, I wonder, like... I'm sort of feeling like probably the best way to play this game, and I mentioned it earlier, but now I'm even more convinced of it, is to just play it and play it and play it until the stock characters in the roster are like level, you know, 10 or 11 or 12 or something, and then swap, and then see if characters that you've used before level up as well and gain stats. Let's not do this. I mean, how many enemies are on this map? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A British section is 8 men, normally. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it genuinely 6 bodies? No, yeah, 6 plus the officer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus the officer. So in theory, if they're following British regulations for a section size, there'd be one more somewhere. The real question is, who do you send out? When you've got so many injuries, who do you send out? I think Reggae is like the least injured and the most hit points.
Ich verstehe.
You have to remember that Eagle has only
It is
got
bad news for them.
84 hit points, so
It's joke. It feel like I carry rocks.
you're actually really running short on SMG mags. I just want to have a look at this rifle. I think I've looked at it before, but I just want to remind myself of it. Yeah, it uses like a weird ammo. I feel like I carry rocks. Okay, well, Tank Boy can forever be at the front of my engagements. What's interesting to me is that I'm not seeing the British using the Enfield now, which is an ammunition that I do want to collect. I'm seeing a lot of, I'm not entirely sure, historical carbine use here. The Sten is very historical though, I mean. It was a very... Oh crap, here we go.
It was only a question of time.
A very inexpensive weapon. Forget it. I ain't gonna win a stat check against this guy, even if it looks like he's facing the other direction. Which it blatantly does. Oh! That did it. Got him. I'll very silently put that guy out of his misery. The Sten mag is not compatible with this, is it? .38 Parabellum? 38, yeah it is. Just gotta pull the mag out of the current weapon and put this one in. There we go. It'll automatically change the mag. Which is quite realistic actually. Although it takes ages. Don't let games ever fool you into believing that putting bullets into magazines is a simple task. Your thumb, my thumb hurts just thinking about it. Just, well, you know, once you get, you know, the first 80% of the magazine goes in easy. The next 10%, you know, is rough, but it's fine. And then when you start getting to the last few, because of the, and it depends on how tightly the spring is loaded, but usually the spring is loaded like incredibly tightly. It just becomes agony to push the bullets in on your thumb if you're doing it with the thumb method. It does depend on the weapon a little bit as well. I had such a nightmare task at the shooting range of putting bullets in a Colt 45, I think it was, that I didn't even bother to put. I think it had 6 or 7 round capacity. I didn't even bother to put the last round in. I just fired the 6, and then I put the last round in after I was done firing the 6. I mean, it's a firing range, right? It didn't matter. It didn't matter that I took the time to reload in the middle of the shooting.
I get better with each war.
Interestingly, I don't think there's anything I want out of all of this garbage. 36M Mark 1 though I want. No, M61s. I keep forgetting. M61s are the grenades I really want. Due to their high damage and the fact that they still count as a light grenade, and they also have a very wide explosion radius. There is an M61 lying on the ground over here. The regular grenades are much more capable of doing harm, but they're harder to throw. Crap!
Here, I am discovered.
Oh, he's there. I gained another action point. I think you get evasion for just running around while being shot at. Shall we test it? Reggie's actually got quite a lot of hit points. So the blue line is just before the end of the S on evasion by 1 pixel. I've memorized that now. Let's go to Legit mode.
Ich verstehe.
Oh,
I am
man.
young. I have much to learn.
He nailed me. And I didn't gain any evasion either. Probably because I got hit. How's his ass?
I did not sign up for this.
Alright, they're all dead. The leave button just went green. Let's get the pliers on this bad boy. I'll take that for your medical skill. I guess evasion only goes up if you actually dodge the shot. But his vitality did go up from being shot. It's just, you know, how many shootings are you going to have to survive to actually get your stats up in that manner? God, can't speak.
Finished. You will survive.
Shooting, melee, throwing, and interrupt all went up. M61, grab it. I like to keep them handy for close encounters. I'd rather have them than the potato masher as well. I can't remember what the F1 is. I mean, it's a grenade for sure. Oh, it's the one that's like extra chunky. The explosion damage is the same. It has less fragments, but the fragments do potentially a lot more damage. Yeah, so there's a full section here.
And I get better with the time.
8 dudes. Eight dudes plus an officer. So it's actually a slightly bigger section. A section's usually 8 dudes, but it can be 9 if it contains a high-ranking officer. Or not high-ranking, but you know, an officer of... Because otherwise you normally have the officer embedded in the actual section itself. And I guess it depends. It can depend on the regiment. There are probably a number of things that it could actually depend on. Typically, it's 8, but it wouldn't be unusual for it to be 9 and the 9th to be an officer.
With each rising sun, improvement awaits.
So, I guess they did their research, that's for sure. You leveled up? No, not that I can see. So funny how spotting is basically my stat that goes up all the time, and action points. "71 spotting." Which is amazing, because she always sits right at the very back of the battle, not actually spotting anybody. That makes you wonder, like, are the spot calculations done on crazy shots? If you shoot people that you can't see, does that increase your spotting? Is that why spotting is flying up? Because she's never on the front line. Or almost never. Almost never on the front line. Always at the back somewhere, sniping away. So that genuinely does make me think that maybe spotting is going up with taking crazy pot shots from across the map. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's avoid that random encounter, shall we? We can do that another time, or we can hit the next story mission. Medic! It won't take long for me to tidy up here. Since mostly all I did was shoot people. It's a fun game. It's very RPG-like, and
Approvazione.
I don't think it's very entertaining to watch someone grind statistics. So I'm quite happy to sort of, you know, show you guys how the system works, as it were. And how you could exploit it in your own time if you pick up this game. How you, you know, there's a lot of good discoveries here on how you could exploit the system to train up your characters into unstoppable god machines. But I myself have just no desire to do that. Think there's any? Nope. I'm like, do you think there's any interesting grenades? The answer is no, sir. There are SMGs, but none of them are as good as this one. This was like easily the best MG I've seen. Easily. Let's carry a couple of extra mags because we do get through them. Okay, heavy weapons. Interestingly, there is like an infinite supply of this ZB-26 ammo, which is great. Just means that you could just hose the enemy with reckless abandonment. The more that I use this MG as well, and the more familiar he gets with it. I mean, 3 familiarity meaning effectively an extra 3% chance to hit. You know, he is hitting the targets at the same kind of ranges that the rifle hits. You know, I know that the rifle would have like 70 or 80% chance to hit, but 10% chance to hit is, you know, absolutely fine when you're firing 15 rounds. On weighting, that's at least 1 hit. Erring on the side of 2. Oh, let's if there's any lockpicks in here. There's been a resupply of medicine. You know, you've got like you've got equipment for setting up booby traps and mines and things like that. I don't know how useful that is, honestly. You would have to know where the enemy is going to patrol or whatever, set up the trap, and then them to blunder onto it. I don't really see the enemy patrolling much in this game. I'm very glad I hoovered up all the Enfield when I did, because I've honestly not seen much of it recently. Now, of course, both my best snipers use it. You know, in the war, it was highly coveted rifle. Really good piece of kit. That and the... I'm trying to think of... well, if it had a scope, anyway. The scope was the rare part. I'm trying to think of the other weapon that was really popular, but it was bolt action. I don't know, was it... I can't remember. My mind is screaming SKS at me, but I don't think it was the SKS. There was an old British bolt action rifle that got a lot of praise as well for its accuracy, but I can't remember which one it was. But having a small magazine is really, really useful. And by small magazine, I mean, you know, large magazine for a sniper rifle. Okay. Should probably put that missing powder back. Do you know what's funny? Is I'll probably phase out these tongs after a while. Because the gauze bandage seems to be better. Heals 90 VPs and then all the penalties from the critical conditions. So it just fixes everything, it looks like. Whereas this is 50 VPs. Although it does start by removing the critical conditions. But effectively this just seems to be an upgrade. A smaller upgrade as well. It's just that you've got to have the skills to use it. It provides a bonus to the medical skill of 20. Bonus to the medical skill of 10. Ah! That's what's different. These items provide you with a medical bonus, so you heal more, I presume. But I'm not really sure what healing does on this difficulty, because it doesn't restore your hit points. That yellow health is not actual health. It's coming out of the green bar. So it's kind of weird that it has a Jagged Alliance-like healing system, but it doesn't seem to make any difference. Man, I'd really love to see some more scoped weapons. Do you know what? I wonder. Stupid thing to wonder, I know. You know, a certain amount of stuff is sort of generated. If I dumped these weapons, let's test it with HMGs. There's no real risk there. Let's say I took these weapons away and dumped them somewhere. Let me just rearrange these so that I can fit them both in. Oh wow, it takes up the whole row. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay, so we'll just leave those there. If I took these weapons... Interesting experiment before we finish up. Just bear with me here. So let's say I just took these weapons and I just went somewhere, like a random encounter. We can just leave the random encounter straight away. This is just something I want to test. And then I dumped these. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm not going to use those MGs anyway, so it's that simple. I'm not going to bother trying to farm ammunition for those.
I have good training.
So, now, if I go to the armory, do they reappear? Does something different appear? Oh, of course, the armory only refreshes when, I remember saying this before. I believe that the armory only refreshes when you complete a mission. This will be an interesting experiment. What we'll do is next time, we'll just go to a quick random encounter. We'll clear it out. And we'll come back and we'll see if fresh MGs spawn in the armory. Because I might be harming myself in a way by I've collected all these weapons. And I might be harming myself by collecting them. It might be better for me to actually just throw them all out and see if the armory generates better gear. Once again, we're just exploring the mechanics of the game by using the MG section as a test. Alright, that's it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.